Hello everyone, this is Mehjabin Fatima, a teacher at Elizabeth High School and Junior College. Welcome back to my class. Till now we have completed 15 chapters in our social studies, and today we are going to start 16th chapter, that is towards gender equality. Now let's proceed with our lesson. Women in Telangana have been increasingly taking up jobs outside their homes. Today, more women participate in public life, such as contesting elections and taking important decisions along with men. So, you may have seen that women from our state, that is Telangana, they are doing jobs today, and many women, they are participating along with men in public affairs, and they are also taking part in elections. This has been due to the collective participation in various agitations and proactive government policies, especially in 1980s and 1990s. Yet, women in Telangana are still far away from reaching the goal of attaining equality and dignity in all spheres of life. For example, fewer young girls are able to survive than ever before. In this chapter, we will discuss some important issues associated with equality among men and women in Telangana. So, this collective participation has been started in the years 1980s and 1990s, we can say, and still some women in Telangana, they are still far away from attaining equality, we can say. And here the example is given that fewer girls are able to survive than ever before. So some girls, they are surviving very hardly, means they are facing many problems in their lives. Now let's discuss about some points in this chapter. Women are expected to do most of the household works like cleaning, cooking, washing, taking care of children, etc., while men go out to work in the fields of factories, do shopping, etc. In many families, women go out to work, also have to do most of the household work. In some families, men come home drunk, beat up the women and children. The women are expected to tolerate all this silently. So, women usually, they are expected to do household works. Even if the woman, she is doing any job, still she has to do household work, means after completing her household work, then only she can go for job. And while when we will see men will go for the shopping, for the fields or for the factories. They don't care about the house at all. And in some families, men, they will get drunk and they will come to the home and they will beat their wives and children. Some people feel that women are naturally physically weaker than men. They are more caring, loving and not quarrelsome. They are by instinct tuned to cooking, cleaning, stitching and other household works. It is believed that they need to be protected by men. Women take care of children because they can only love and care. That is why women do all the household work, because they are naturally suited to it. Do you also agree with this belief? So, some people, they feel that women, they are naturally and physically more weaker than the men, and these women, they are specially made for doing household works like cleaning, stitching and other kind of works. And as it is the nature of women that they do caring and they are loving, so because of their nature, they will take care of their family and their children, and they do all the household work because they are naturally suited to it. If you go deep into each of these qualities, you will find that they apply equally to both men and women. For example, you will find both brave and cowardly men as well as women. You will find many men who are very caring and loving, but we tend to attribute some qualities to men and some to women, even though there is nothing in their physical makeup which can makes them so. The bodies of men and women are somewhat different biologically, because of which women can conceive babies and provide them with milk in the early months. This does not mean that only women can clean and bathe the babies and wash clothes or prepare foods for men. So, when we will see this topic as a deep, and when we will reflect on this topic, we can see that both men and women, they are having the same qualities, but they are different from biologically, they are different, but they does have same qualities. For example, you can see a brave girl and a brave boy. There is nothing about a quality that is brave, means that quality, like there is nothing like bravery is only for men. a woman can also be brave. And when you will take some men's they are also very caring and loving. So it is in their nature. We cannot blame women that they are very weak when compared to men, because they both equally share the same qualities. Biologically, women, they are different from men, as they conceive the babies and they will feed their babies. But when you will compare the qualities, they both are equal. And that doesn't mean that if woman has given birth to her child, she only should bathe her child and she only wash the clothes of her child and she only feed her child. Men can also do such kind of works. In many places, men do this kind of work very efficiently, but we have got so used to the idea of women performing some roles that we think are their natural qualities. So at some places we can see the men, they are doing the same household works how the women are doing, but it's our thinking that woman has been designed only to do such kinds of works. These qualities and roles are not natural in women but evolved over hundreds and thousands of years due to social norms. So woman does not have such qualities by birth. These have been evolved over hundreds and thousands of years due to the social norms. Since women have been performing these roles for many centuries, we have grown to regard them as natural. In reality, their roles have been made by society. For hundreds of years, we had been living in a social order which favors men and in which men have control over all the resources and the right to make rules. So, women have been performing these roles since many centuries, and because of this we think that woman has been designed or woman has taken birth only to do such kind of work, and such kind of household works will not suit if men will do the same. And we are living in such a social order which favors men's, where man has all the rights to take decisions and he can control over all the resources and the rights to make the rules. If you look at history, you will note that most rulers, most religious leaders and people who made laws and rules were men. They made rules in such a way that women are assigned to subordinate role to men and were controlled by them just like the land or cattle. So when we will look at the history, we can see that many rules, they have been designed by the men. So because of that, we can say these rules and regulations are in the favor of men. And women, they were assigned to subordinate role to the men and were controlled by them just like the land or cattle. Thus, there are two kinds of differences between men and women. Firstly, they are naturally physical differences, but these need not cause discrimination against women. The second kind of difference is made by our society, which tries to subordinate women to men and treat them unequally. Differences which lead to such inequality and discrimination are called socially caused differences or gender differences. So here we can see that there are two main differences between men and women. The first one is they are naturally and physically different from each other, and we need not to discriminate both of them by seeing this factor. And the second kind of difference is made by the society, that our society, it's discriminating the women and it's giving all the favors and rights to the men. To that we can say women are not treated equally, means they are treated unequally. And the differences which lead to such inequality and discrimination, we can call it as socially caused differences or gender difference. Let's see what is growing up as boys and girls. From their very birth, girls and boys are brought up according to many discriminatory ideas. Here are some statements about how boys and girls are treated. Discuss them in the class. So, when we will see by the birth itself, they will teach their children that girls are weaker than boys, means girls and boys are brought up according to many discriminatory ideas. If anything the girl wants to do, their parents will stop by saying that you are made only for the household works, where boys are allowed to do any kind of work whichever they want. Now let's see what is fewer girls and fewer women. All these discriminations has very sad consequences. For example, we find that the proportion of females in Indian population is constantly decreasing. In 1951, there were 946 females for every 1000 males in 1981, it declined to 934 per 1000 males. After that, it rose to 940 females per 1000 males by 2011. So, for all this discrimination, we are having many sad consequences. For example, we can find the proportion of females in Indian population is constantly decreasing. Here the years and the number of women and the number of females have been given, you can see. Normally, equal number of girls and boys should take birth. If the proportion of girls is less, it means that girls and women are not able to live a healthy life in our country and are dying earlier than men. But why is this proportion constantly declining? So, normally when we will see equal number of girls and boys should take birth, means the girls and boys should be equal in number, and if the proportion of girls is very less, then we can see that women, they are not very much healthy, they are not able to live the healthy life, and in our country women, they are dying earlier than men. This may be due to many reasons. In some families, young girls do not get sufficient nutritious food and are not able to survive when they suffer from disease. So, there are many reasons why these women are dying, because at some families, young girls, they do not get the sufficient nutritious food, because of which they get weaker and they cannot survive. Girls, children in India also face discrimination. They do not receive proper medical treatment. In recent times, the proportion of girls has reduced also due to female foeticide, a social practice where girl children are killed before they are born. This is also means that technological advancement gives people the choice of giving birth to only male children. And also the factor is these girl children in India, they are also facing the discrimination problem, as they are not receiving the proper medical treatment because of that. And in recent time, the proportion of girls have been reduced due to the female foeticide, that is the people, they are killing the woman as soon as the girl child took the birth. And this is also means that technological advancement gives people the choice of giving birth only to the male children. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh have one of the largest educational systems in India, with nearly 1.50 crore students studying in more than 1 lakh schools and colleges. Children dropping out of schools is also an important problem. 30 years ago, the problem was acute, particularly among girls. For example, if 100 girls started going to school, more than 65 of them discontinued their schooling after class 5. In fact, not more than 15 girls were able to pursue intermediate education. So, in our state, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, we have the one of the largest educational system in India, with nearly 1.50 crores of students studying in more than 1 lakh schools and colleges. And many children, we can see, they are dropping out from the schools, and especially girls, they are dropping out from the schools after completing their 5th standard. And some girls, if they are going forward with their studies, after intermediate, they are dropping out their education. Another aspect of discrimination is low literacy level among women. Girls are not encouraged to go to school and are made to stay at home to do the household work in fields and shops. Even the girls who go to school have little time to study at home, as they have to do a lot of household work for school time. So, we can see that these women, they are not encouraged to do their to get their educational knowledge, and instead of that, these people, they will force the girls to stay at home for the household works. And even if the women, they are struggling to continue their studies, even they are getting the little time to study at home, because they have lots of household works to do. Even when girls manage to go to school and study, they are discouraged from taking subjects like mathematics and science, which are considered more suitable for boys. Girls are told that they can only learn subjects like literature and home science. In fact, many institutions practice gender bias by not allowing boys to opt for subjects like home science and forcing girls alone to opt for them. So, girls are even discouraged from taking subjects like mathematics and science, means the people will think that these subjects are made up only for the boys, which is not suitable for women. And here the girls, they are forced to take literature and home science, as these people, they will think that these subjects are more suitable for the girls. And in many institutions, we can see they practice gender bias by not allowing the women to take by not allowing the boys to opt for the subjects like home science and forcing girls to opt such subjects. Let's see what is right to property. In India, most resources like land and factories are in the name of men, even though the law provides that property of parents should be divided equally between all children, both sons and daughters. In actual practice, very few girls get a share in their parents' property, which is usually passed on only to sons. As a result, women have little or no control over any productive resources like land, shop or factory. They therefore have to be economically dependent upon their fathers, husbands, sons and brothers. So when we will reflect the light on the access to property, we can see that parents, they are giving the resources like land and factories to their sons rather than their daughters. But actually the parents, they should divide their property equally to both their daughters and sons. But in actual practice, when we will see, very few girls, they get their share in their parents' property, which is usually passed on to the sons only. And as a result, we can see women, they are having little or no control over the productive resources like land, shop and factory. Here the women are dependent upon their fathers and then brothers and then their husbands and children. The situation in Telangana in recent time is relatively better. This is due to the laws made in the state in 1980s, which made it mandatory that the ancestral property of parents should be equally divided between sons and daughters. In fact, our state was the first state in the country to make such property laws to reduce discrimination. But when we will see the situation of our state, that is Telangana, in recent time we can see that it is relatively better. This is due to the law made in the 1980s. It said that the ancestral property of parents should be equally divided between both sons and daughters. And we can see that our state was the first state in the country to make such property laws to reduce the discrimination between the boys and girls. Let's see what is employment. Women going out of the house and taking up jobs are able to become self-dependent. Most women workers in Telangana are employed in agriculture, doing casual jobs, and a small section of them run their own shops, farms and other enterprises. Thus, when women take up employment, they do not depend on others. So, women, when we will see the employment point, women, they are going out of the houses and they are taking up jobs and they are able to become self-dependent. And most women workers in our state, they are employed in agricultural fields and doing casual jobs, and a small section which is run by the women like shops, farms and other enterprises. So we can see that women can also take up this employment and they need not to be dependent on others for their survival. We also have seen that girls in some families are brought up in such a way that they are undernourished and undereducated. Therefore, they have less opportunity to gain proper employment and get good salaries. Even women who are well educated are not allowed by their families to take up professional jobs and require them to be away from their homes for a long time. They are allowed only to take up part-time or less demanding jobs. So, we have seen that some girls of the family, they are brought up in a way that they are undernourished and they are undereducated. Therefore, they does have the less opportunities to gain proper education, proper employment at good salaries. And women who are well educated, they are not allowed by their families to do the professional jobs, and as that require them to be away from their homes for the longer period of time, and they are allowed to do part-time jobs or less demanding jobs. And the women who are not having the proper qualifications, they are forced to do the physical labor fields or mines or as domestic servants in house of the rich people. These jobs are back-breaking and exhausting. Moreover, the women doing them are often looked down and they lose respect and security. They have to face insults and abuses all the times. So, the women who are undereducated or who are illiterate, we can say, they are forced to do the physical laborship in the fields or mines or the domestic servants in the house of the rich people, and these jobs are the breaking and exhausting. These jobs do not give respect to the women, we can say, and they have to face insults and abuses all the time. In the last few decades, the employment scene for women has been changing gradually. Many women have acquired degrees and are entering into jobs which were earlier considered as male professions. The reservations policies pursued them from 1980s in Telangana for admission to women in all college and in government job have led to more and more girls joining colleges and taking up salaried jobs. So in the last few decades, we can say that employment scene for women have been changing gradually. Now the women, they are having more chances and opportunities to grab. These women, they are entering into the colleges and schools and they are getting qualified from there and they are ready to do jobs. Some leading scientists, mathematicians, diplomats, engineers, etc. are women. Women are now also recruited into the police, army, navy and air force, and there are also many women pilots today. In fact, we have women who are trained engine drivers. This has been possible because women have fought to get higher education and have broken gender biases in many professions. So at present we can see many women, they are doing the professional jobs, like some are leading to the scientists, mathematicians, diplomats, engineers, etc. And some women, they are recruited to do the police, army, navy and air force, and they are also the women who are the pilots, and some women, they are trained engine drivers. So this has been possible only by the spirit of the women, we can say, who fought for their right and who fought to get the higher education. And these girls or women, they have broken the gender biases in many professions. Let's see our last topic, that is unrecognized work of women. If we look at the daily routine of any woman, we will realize that they are working all the time, but for most of the time the work they do is not recognized and not paid for. Even though everyone can see them working hard, their work remains invisible. So if we have a glance over the daily routine of any woman, we can see that woman is working all the time, and most of the time the work is not recognized by anyone, and even they are not paid for doing such kind of jobs. Everyone can see that they are working hard, but their work always remains invisible. You can see that when we say farmers, we only think of men but never of women. In fact, nearly 8 out of every 10 Indian working women work in the fields. They till the land, they do the seeding, weeding, transplanting, harvesting, threshing or countless jobs. Of course, it is also true that many farm jobs are reserved for women, like transplanting rice, weeding or plucking groundnut pods. Women do these and many other jobs also in agriculture. A large number of farms are fully managed by women farmers alone, as the men go out in search of work in the factories and towns. So when we will take the name of the farmers, we will always imagine the picture of men here. We don't imagine the woman who is doing the back work in the agriculture, we can say. These women, they are doing harvesting, threshing, weeding, plucking and seeding. But even though these women, they are doing the work, but whenever we will take the name of the agriculture, we will always imagine the male person over there. Many women are working on the family farms, yet their work is not recognized. Women who work on other people's farms get wages which are lower than what men get. If you study the work done by women within your own house, you will realize the hard work that goes into running the house. Just imagine if women were to charge for the work they do at home, for cleaning, cooking, making pickles, taking care of children, teaching children, nursing the sick, stitching clothes, fetching water, purchasing provisions, etc. How much would they get paid every month? The reality is that they do not get paid for any of this work, and instead they are constantly abused for not doing this work on time or not to the taste of the others. On the other hand, most of the work that men do is paid for, and they control the money and spend it as their wish. So when we will see, or when we will study the work done by the woman per day, if we reflect on the woman work for only one day, we can see that woman is doing many kind of jobs like cleaning, making pickles, taking care of children, nursing, etc. and she is not getting paid for such kind of jobs. And if we started to pay a woman for her daily routine, then she will get richer and richer per day. But the reality is that they do not get paid for it, and instead they are constantly abused for not doing this work on time and for not to the taste of the others. and on the other hand, when we will see the man, he will enjoy all of his rights and he will earn the money, he can spend the money according to his wish. So today we can see that many opportunities have been given to women where they are getting qualified from the credit worthy colleges, and after completing her qualifications she is moving on with the jobs and she is becoming self-dependent every day. So today the women, they are getting more opportunities and they are grabbing those opportunities. So we can clearly say that this kind of discrimination between men and women have been decreasing today, and these women, they have been taking new roles successfully. So this was all about our chapter, that is towards gender equality. Let's continue our next class with next chapter. Thank you.